lag in the streaming. So we have to give it a minute. So I'm going to talk even though right now there's nothing really happening. We're going to go here to our default little thingy. And I just got the alert. We are fucking on YouTube. And
we're rolling.
We're live now. We are rolling.
Lights, camera, action.
We are fucking rolling. So everybody out there with us, you're going to see us in 1 second. Get your cocktails ready out there because it is What's Trending Live. Happy hour, I want to say number 3. With your fucking pal here in the flesh, Juice Giorgio. And with me, my fucking esteemed colleague from the NFL Boycott Club, Gio. Hey, cheers, pal.
Cheers. Is it
happy?
It's a Corona time?
It's Corona time. Happy hour.
Should we use that term? Is that like...
Well, there's Miller time, right?
Right. But I'm saying with the COVID, is Corona time a good word to use?
It's COVID, Corona, Miller time.
There we go.
Miller's a Pilsner, right? What's this? What type of beer is this?
I don't even know. I mean, it's not a lager, so I don't know.
Interesting. Well, we got a lot of good topics for you today, and where to begin? There's a lot. I was so antsy to get started. You know what? I didn't even fucking print the call sheet. Can you believe this? I started a show.
No call sheet.
I didn't even print the fucking call sheet. So here's what I'm going to do. We already knew topic number 1 was going to be, not that, this. You could see it on the screen. Obviously, you can't see it, but Super Bowl, what is it, 55?
You know what? I always get confused with that. I think
It's like LV.
Yeah. Oh, I thought it was 54. Is that wrong?
I don't know. It could be either one, man.
I always get confused with those numbers. I never pay attention to the
numerals?
numbers. No, not even that. I just don't pay attention to like Super Bowl 45 or 55 or 52.
I hear.
I really don't really. I don't care.
42 was the Giants.
I'll take your word. I'll take your word for it. I have no idea.
46 was the Giants. Those were the 2 Eli Super Bowls.
I'll take your word for it. I have no idea. I never followed that.
So folks, thank you for the one viewer that's with us right now. So cheers. Welcome to Happy Hour. Welcome to What's Trending Happy Hour. So in lieu of the NFL show that we do usually every week, we're going to do the Super Bowl preview right now. We're going to incorporate it into What's Trending Happy Hour. So we got Tampa Tom, who all year...
Tampa Tom.
We've been, we've been saying, don't count this guy out. Don't underestimate him. And can you say predictably playing against the Chiefs? I mean, is it fair to say that we saw this coming?
Yeah, I mean, I guess we saw the Chiefs there, but it's funny, in this world of not normalcy, there's some normalcy seeing Tampa Tom in the Super Bowl again, right? So something that's a little bit more normal than usual the past year or so.
Well, Tom Brady was in the Super Bowl, what, for the last time, 2 years ago?
Yeah, 2 years ago, because it was the Chiefs last year.
It was the game where he played the Rams?
They played the Rams, and it was a horrible game. Probably one of the worst games in my lifetime that I remember watching. I don't know about you, but that game was just horrible. It was a 13-3 final.
I'm not afraid of a low-scoring football game because I'm like one of those old-school football fans.
I don't either. That I don't mind. What I'm saying is,
it was
like,
sloppy.
It was just sloppy. It was slow. There was zero offense. I mean, it was just not a good game to watch at all.
And that happens. But you know what? The worst Super Bowls are the fucking ones that are blowouts.
Which actually happens a lot.
It does, yeah.
I mean, it's good to see like a team dominate because you could say, okay, that team is, really good. But yeah, that does happen a lot, which is weird. You wouldn't think that would happen for the 2 best teams in the league playing against each other.
No. And I have this whole idea when it comes to playoffs, and you could apply this to any sport. And I don't know if I told you about this. I have no problem. All 4 major leagues have 2 conferences, right? Mm-hmm. And hockey and NBA, it's geography-based, East and West, which is okay, whatever. Football and baseball is because they merged 2 leagues under one roof. So my whole thing is keep the conferences, but when you come to playoff seeding, combine the conferences for playoff seeding, and that way I think you truly get the 2 best teams in the whole league, whether it's baseball, football, hockey, whatever it might be.
So come postseason, conferences are out the window.
Right.
Just put the best teams.
So in football to begin with, they expanded the playoffs now to what, 14 teams?
14, yeah, because 7 in each, yep.
Yeah. So rank the teams 1 through 14 in terms of how they would be ranked, like combine them
Right.
in the same pool.
Almost like college basketball.
Yeah.
You're saying forget the conferences.
Right.
We're just going with the best 64 teams, and here's how we rank them. So kind of like that format, which actually works really well because college basketball is one of the most watched sports in the world.
Well, March
Madness, at least, yeah.
But the only pushback I would have on that is that college basketball does get geographic in terms of the playoffs, and it's the only way they could really do it. To be fair, because it's so many teams,
Right? Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, but like football, for example, and again, this is just something
Because then you would truly have the two best teams.
This is something I've made up in my head. I've never heard anyone talk about this, but because I'm always thinking, like, if you really truly want the best two teams, you know, who's to say the best two teams aren't in the AFC or in the NFC?
No, that's true. That makes a lot of sense.
And why should the West and the East be the barometer of, like, the best of the East versus the best of the West? Maybe the West fucking sucks. You know what I mean?
And that happens a lot where you have a conference championship game that's almost like the Super Bowl.
Right.
Like, didn't that happen with the Patriots and the Chiefs? Everyone was saying that should have should have been the Super Bowl because those were the two best teams, and that was a close game. The Chiefs wound up losing at the end of the game because of an offsides penalty.
Right.
But yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
And think about '90s basketball when it was still a fucking sport, not unlike what it is now. But there could have been a couple finals where the finals would have been the Knicks and the fucking Bulls.
Yeah,
right.
Because absolutely
Instead of a conference final.
Yeah. Because then
and even your Jets. Wait, let's get to the Jets after this. You had a thought. I didn't want to interrupt you.
No, I was gonna say even the Nets in the early 2000s went to back-to-back finals. They weren't really that good of a team, but they went to back-to-back finals, got blown out. But the Western Conference that year was like the Spurs versus the Lakers.
Call sheet.
Oh, thanks. Those teams. So those were the best teams. The Nets weren't the best team, second best team in the league.
They had no business being there under my
Nets
system.
were like the fifth best team in the league.
Right.
Like who just got into the finals and got blown out.
Now, who knows? Because we always say the Giants got lucky. They didn't have to play the Saints in the playoffs on that second run because they could never.
And the Saints have their number, yeah.
Right. But who knows how the fucking how the 08 and 09 Jets would have done in the playoffs? Weren't those the years that the Jets went back to back?
They went to back to back, yeah.
In the AFC Championship and
that
lost?
sounds right. I always thought it was 2010, 2011, but you're probably right.
But it could have been like the 2009 season bleeding out into the year 2010.
Right, that's what I'm thinking it is.
Or it could have been 09 and 10. It could have been 09 and 10.
Because the Giants won, what, the 08 Super Bowl, right?
Right.
So that regular season will be the 08, 09, then 09, 010 for the Jets, possibly. Yeah.
So it's just an interesting idea that I've always had. I never shared it with anybody. So now I hope someone steals it because I just give me the credit. Just give Juice Georgia the credit.
That's what will probably happen. It'll go towards that, and then you'll get zero credit, unfortunately.
So the next topic I have for everybody here on What's Trending, I'm going to skip it for you because it simply says WrestleMania Pirate Ship.
Yes, I kind of know where that might be going, and I have zero interest and zero knowledge.
Right. So all that means, folks, is WrestleMania this year is going to be in the home of the Super Bowl. The Tampa, what's the name of the Tampa Stadium?
Oh, is that really where it's going to be?
That's why it's actually, in real life, it's WrestleMania 37, but Vince McMahon is turning into a senile old man, and he stopped giving WrestleMania's names. So now he just, like, whatever the logo is of the football team, that's the name of the WrestleMania. So, so this year it's like WrestleMania Pirate Ship.
So how old is he? Like, is he like 80 now?
McMahon's pushing 80. Yeah.
Pushing 80.
And next year it's going to be in Dallas. So guess what? It's a big star. So next year's WrestleMania Star.
WrestleMania Star. Okay, so he just takes like the major like logo or whatever you want to call it and just says this is what it's called.
And then 2 years from now it's going to be in LA, but they already have two football teams. So instead of even doing that, it's at SoFi Stadium, like the new stadium for the Chargers and the Rams. It's just WrestleMania film strip. Because of Hollywood.
Oh my god. I don't know what to make of that. Is it because he's just really that like slow? Is that really why he's doing that?
Well, no. When WrestleMania, so I'm the same age as WrestleMania. Like WrestleMania 1 came out when I was like 6 months old.
Oh wow.
So say like it's WrestleMania 8 in 92. That was the year I turned 8. Mm-hmm. So I guess I'm old because when I turned like 31, Vince McMahon goes, "Oh, 31's too old. That sounds too old. We got to stop putting numbers on WrestleMania."
Ah, I see.
And some knowledge for you. He always used Roman numerals, so like the same way the Super Bowl does. So that I learned Roman numerals fucking watching Wrestlemania and pro wrestling.
There you go. Who says wrestling doesn't teach you anything?
I learned a lot, and I learned a lot of vocabulary too from Gorilla Monsoon, the commentator.
Too bad they don't. So they should keep the number. So when you go senile when you're 80, you'll know how old you are based on the WrestleMania number.
Exactly.
There you go.
And once again, a happy hour to all the juice heads out there. Greg, Gio, thank you for joining us today for
Cheers,
What's
everybody.
Trending Happy Hour Live Edition. We are live from the crib. Let me know what you're drinking for happy hour in the comments. We're almost done with another week. And next on the call sheet, Greg, as you could see, I don't know if you heard of this broad, Amanda Ensing. She's been canceled. Do you know her?
I have no idea who that is.
Well, I'm going to give you the liberty. I'm going to pull her up on the screen for the people watching, but why don't you look her up on your phone and just get an idea of what this broad looks like.
All right, so
because,
I'm going to do a Peter Rosenberg thing here.
Rosenberg it. Because what they did to this girl is a shame. So basically, she has 1.2 million followers on Instagram, and companies like Sephora and L'Oreal started basically giving her money to use and advertise their product on her social media. And she came out as that Latina Conservative, probably Trump support. I cannot confirm she's a Trump supporter, but I'm 99% sure she is.
God forbid you be like a minority. And
they totally and completely just canceled her for it. Like, they took away her means of income.
Okay, right, because you can't be a minority and be a conservative
right.
Trump supporter, right.
Even though most Latinos that I know are conservative by nature, that's like their tradition, is to be like Catholic and conservative.
It's true. It's very true, yeah. Especially most of them voted for Trump. I know, right, in Florida he won.
Texas.
Yeah.
And he won in Texas, not only the whole state, but he did very well in the border areas that border Mexico.
But I guess when one of these people get too big, the Democrats get worried. Is that what happens? And they're just like, we have to shut them down? Is that how it works?
Yeah, well, it's free speech, which is our First Amendment, which separates us from all the third world shitholes out there. Free speech only applies to those who agree with liberals.
Right.
If you have viewpoints, even if, say, like you're neutral, like say you don't feel strongly one way or the other, in a liberal's eyes, you're still a piece of shit.
Right.
You know what they say?
Especially if you're a minority.
Right. Because you can't just be neutral, not care. They say science, not science. Well, they say they're the party of science too, but their big thing that they say is silence is compliance. And how dare you tell me what I'm thinking? How do you know what's in somebody's heart? You know, that's why the whole thing with the Confederate flag thing pisses me off, because the southern states have their own heritage. You know, history's written by the victor. Obviously, our side won that war. It's fine. And look, there's some fucking southern people that are crazy and definitely are not over the results of that war. But there's some people that just like the Confederate flag. It represents their heritage, their area. It doesn't mean you're fucking pro-slavery and fucking pro Jim Crow laws and fuck the Yankees. Well, maybe there's a little bit of fuck the Yankees in there. But like, how do you know what's in somebody's head and heart?
Yeah, I think you put it best is like, yeah, there are people that are just still there that it's crazy. They're still fighting the Civil War, but like they're not. There's people that
it's like probably less than 1%.
Yeah, but that goes for anything for that matter.
Right.
You know, that goes for anything, not just them.
Well, just like with this so-called insurrection, which we're going to get to, because AOC was trending today. You know, I was talking to a chick on Bumble, like the week after it happened, and she happened to be of color and a graduate of Yale, and she saw I had conservative in my profile. So the first thing she asks me, instead of like trying to get to know me and whatever, and you know me, I don't like preach my shit onto other people that bad. I mean, I give you my opinions about stuff, but if I don't agree with you, like I'm not gonna hate you.
Right.
You know what? I'm not like that.
Because you're an adult.
I'm what's called tolerant, right? So the first thing she fucking asks me is, well, how do you feel about white supremacists storming the Capitol? And I respectfully and peacefully just tried to say, listen, I would like to get to know you. I have certain principles I stand up for, which is why I put conservative. And I was like, let's let the facts come out. And, you know, if it was white supremacists, obviously I condemn that. But, You don't know if that was at the time. Now it's starting to come out. It was a lot of Antifa people. It was a lot of people that didn't even vote.
We don't know.
It was a lot of non-Trump supporters and a lot of non-white supremacists.
No one really knows who was there. It's all assumption. Like, we're just assuming it was white supremacists.
Now, she said that because she wanted it to be white supremacists because that's the narrative that she wants it to be.
That's easier to argue.
And how are you going to argue someone that had to put in their profile that they're a Yale graduate and that can play the fucking, what's that instrument that's really hard to play? The violin or something?
They're all hard. Violin, cello.
But like the one that's like really people like respect you like you're a doctor. You know what I mean?
I think cello's up there too. That's
whatever it was.
That's a big instrument.
Yeah, whatever it was, that's what she plays. And look, I knew I probably was never going to meet her anyway, just based off the fact she was an Ivy League Manhattan liberal.
Right.
But it's like
you guys wouldn't last 5 minutes together.
They're not capable of having a civil conversation with people that think differently than them. You know what I mean? But yet these say they're the side of tolerance. Like that's what I don't understand.
Yeah, and sometimes like I'll even kind of go down to their level and be like, okay, that's cool, and I'll ask them a question. I'll just be like, well, just a simple question. They can't even answer it. They'll just turn it around.
Right. They try to pin you in a corner.
Yeah, and it's like well, we're not even talking about that. I'm just asking you a simple question. That's all. Like,
I had another chick I knew when actually I was out with you watching Notre Dame in the playoffs, which was a total abomination of itself. But this girl, man. The first thing she says to me on Bumble when we met, she goes, she puts how conservative with a question mark. And I think I told you about it in real time when we were out in Morristown. And
you probably did. I was pretty drunk that night.
And what's funny is I knew the girl. I went to college with her. I had to remind her who I was. And I go, I don't hear from you for 18 years, and that's the first thing you got to say to me is how conservative. Like what?
Not even hey, how you doing?
Like
how conservative?
I want it to be like I support dirty air, dirty water, and I don't think old people should have medicine. Like I just should have went down that road.
Right,
you know?
Just pull the stereotypes out there at once. Right, like all at once, just throw it at her.
I'm just this evil fucking conservative guy.
Yeah.
When really all it means is I agree with the founding fathers, and I want to conserve what the founding fathers did. And the people that call themselves progressives, they're the ones that can't get out of 1950. They still walk around like there are slaves. They still walk around like the Jim Crow laws are a fucking thing. And yet they're supposed to be the forward-thinking progressive people. Mm-hmm. And they can't get out of it. But they're obsessed with the past. And they're also obsessed with segregation. Did you know that some of these Ivy League schools actually have separate graduations for black people?
Really?
Yeah. Is that not the definition of fucking segregation?
That's nuts. I mean, you spent their whole life fighting for that to integrate,
right?
And now you're gonna say now we're gonna have a separate graduation.
They really do that. It's a thing. I wish
it's unbelievable.
I can't. I almost want to say I wish I'm making this up, but even my mind doesn't go to places like that because I don't think like that because I'm not a sick fucking racist fuck. It's like people that are the ones that are actually racist are the ones that accuse the people of being racist. You know?
Yeah, that's going backwards. Now we're going to separate graduations. We're going in reverse, aren't we?
Well, that's
what it sounds like.
They're the opposite of what they say they are, and that's progressive. They're the fucking total opposite. So speaking of a nice progressive fucking thing coming out of Congress, let's see, I got a nice little graphic for it right here. You'll see it, Greg, when you watch the replay. Did you hear about H.R. 1?
No, what is this?
The bill they're trying to pass? I have a description of it on the call sheet. It's the fourth bullet point down. It basically bans voter ID for federal elections in all states. That's the first bill they're trying to pass in this new Congress, Greg.
Bans voter ID. Okay. Gotcha. So anybody can just walk in and vote. Anybody. And
as many times as you want. Who cares where you came from?
Yeah. Gotcha. I can just walk off the street.
That's their priority. How does that mean? Like,
well, it helps the Democrats is what it helps.
And Greg, look, I know you're my pal. I think it's fair to say that you're right of center, but you're not like a super duper Republican. You're like more like a common sense oriented kind of a person.
Yeah, I'm not as conservative as you, but
you're more common sense.
I try to play both sides. I look at both sides of the argument. I mean, this right here
But
just
most
makes
of the
no
times,
sense.
their side is so ridiculous, you can't even, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I'm just like, where's this coming from? So,
Like,
I can have my dog go in and vote. Like, I'm just gonna have,
Right.
I'm gonna give him a name and have him go in and vote. This is ridiculous. This is crazy.
Did you know my friend McLovin, he has friends that their dog actually got a mail-in ballot? And I go, how is that true? Like,
I'm laughing, but I know it's serious, and I probably shouldn't be laughing.
I go,
but
but I go, how is that, like, logistically, how is that possible? And he said, like, once you take your dog for the RFID chip, so you can't, like, lose your dog,
the chip,
you
yeah.
know? Mm-hmm. It puts them in the fucking database.
So now you got Fido and Snoopy in the fucking making votes. It's crazy.
It's just but isn't that unbelievable that Congress is this new Congress? Obviously, I don't know how much you know about the system, but there's a new Congress every 2 years, and
well, supposedly.
well, no, it is. No, every 2 years it's a new Congress.
But these guys stay in office for 50 years.
But every other year there's congressional election. Like, there's seats that change, whether it's 1 seat or 100 seats. Like, this year, I think maybe 20 seats changed in the whole Congress.
Really?
So it's usually not a lot of seats that change. But you know, people retire, people die.
That's how they change, though, by death and retirement. I mean, these guys stay in the same position forever.
Most people do not get right. Most incumbents do not get voted. You have to really be bad to get voted out. But it is. But every other year, the first week of January is when a new Congress starts.
Yeah.
And so we're in the first week of February, and HR 1 means it's the first bill that they're trying to propose. And in it, and I think HR 1 is supposed to be like some sort of COVID relief bill on top of it.
COVID relief
So
bill?
what the fuck does this have to do with COVID?
What?
Right. It's supposed. I'm pretty sure. I'm like 85% sure it's supposed to be a COVID relief bill. And
I hope you're incorrect.
And they're trying to ban voter ID in all 50 states.
I really hope you're incorrect. I mean, I know you know more than I do, but I really hope you're wrong on this one.
Dude,
please.
There's a lot of things I wish I was wrong about.
Yeah, it's like that's what most of the stuff I read. I'm like, I hope this is just bullshit. Yeah. But this is crazy. COVID relief bill, no voter IDs. Anybody can vote. Okay.
Well, it's already pretty much anybody can vote now as it is, but this is just making it the law that anybody could vote.
Well, what about kids? Kids can vote too?
Well, with no voter ID, what's to stop a 16-year-old that looks like they're 20?
To what? Yeah.
You know what I mean? And plus with the mail-in ballots.
Because you're just going to have, who's going to screen them? It's basically the 80-year-old volunteer person at the community center saying, okay, you look 18 to me, go ahead and vote. That's the people that's screening?
Not only that, Gio, but it also depends. Every state is either red or blue. Or most states, I think, are actually purple, you know? But it depends if you're in a blue section or a red section.
Oh, well, if you're in a blue section,
anyone's
voting. Yeah.
But in the red section, like in a red voting district, they might actually enforce the voting law. Whereas in a,
in the blue section, you're going to have the families that's 12 walking in and all these kids voting.
Yeah, but my boy Nick DiPaolo says it best. It's like a football game, and one team has to play by the rules and the other team doesn't. It's like one team's allowed to rough the kicker and the quarterback and get away with it, and the other team gets penalized. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's like fixed almost is what it is.
But it's like
fixed.
and I blame the Republicans just as much for not having the fucking ballines to play. You know what I mean? If they're gonna play dirty, you got to play dirty back.
It's so true what you say too, because that's what's gonna happen is they're gonna enforce these laws in these type of towns, or in any conservative town, like a real town, but these hood areas and stuff. What are they gonna do? Everyone's gonna vote.
Well, those areas are fucked already. You know.
Yeah. They think it's gonna get better by voting in these guys. It doesn't. Nothing ever changes, right?
Never changes.
You know, same thing for the past 50 years, but they think it's gonna be a change.
It's a scary world we live in. All right, next here on the docket, here's what I got for you, Gio. And this is crazy too. And just imagine, talking about hypocrisy, imagine if this one was the other way around. Biden's press team has requested that the media gives them questions beforehand.
Yeah,
so when Trump and his Sean Spicer and most recently Kelly McEnany, that hot piece of ass, when they used to do their press briefings and the media would just fucking grill them nonstop.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if they asked the media for the questions
Oh
beforehand?
my God, no! They would come down on him for like so bad. Are you kidding me? I mean, I understand it because Biden's like senile, so he probably needs to like
But it's
prepare.
not even.
But
But Biden's not even answering the questions. It's his press secretary, who's also another nitwit. She's like the fucking the pale skinned ginger chick who's I've never seen any uglier outfits than what she wears. And she goes, we'll circle back, we'll circle back, we'll circle back. Can you imagine if someone working for Trump ever said, we'll circle back? They'd be roasted.
well, this in general. I mean, if Trump said, "I want the questions beforehand," handled by my press secretary, oh, he'll go down in flames.
Oh my God, dude.
Everyone would be posting this all over everybody. Oh man, the double standard is crazy. It's so funny, but it's sad and funny, I guess, at the same time.
You could say, well, this whole administration is sad and funny at the same time.
Oh, that's great. We want the questions beforehand. Oh, okay.
Well, happy hour there, juice heads.
I can't even comment on this. This might as well just move on.
Yeah, well, I'll do you one even better. Biden this week called out the phrase before used to be racial equality. And again, I'm all for equality of opportunity, which is they want equality of outcome, right? So you get the difference between the two, equality of outcome versus equality of opportunity.
Okay, yeah.
Right? And that to me, that's something that makes common sense. Everybody should have the same opportunity to be successful. But what the left always wanted was, and what socialists want and Marxists want, and basically what communism is opportunity of, guaranteed outcome. What the fuck? So now they went one step further and they changed their messaging to now instead of racial equality, it's racial equity.
I thought that was a typo
No,
at first.
I wish that was a typo. So now they want racial equity. So just take more cash out of my pockets that I earned myself at my job and just hand it to people that aren't white. Basically, that's like what the fuck.
I wish that was a typo.
They're gonna fight for racial equity now.
Okay.
And look, are there communities?
So we give money to people because of their skin color.
Are there communities that need help? Yeah, but they're Democrat-run shitholes, and for the most part, a lot of them, I think, probably live off welfare. No,
of course.
And the biggest problem with minority communities is these single-parent homes. A lot of these kids are growing up without a father, and why is that? Because they're hooked on the welfare,
and you get money per kid,
and the fathers are off committing crimes and going to jail. They cry about child separation at the border. What about when they separate the fathers from these kids in these bad communities? Then these kids have no father figures, and then they grow up to be something bad, and the cycle just never ends. It's a perpetual cycle.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's do racial equity. That should help. Instead, you know what? Why don't they actually come up with solutions for these fucking problems? Like, get people to mentor these kids so the cycle fucking ends. I'm all for that. And I'll gladly, if you want to raise my taxes to pay for mentor-like figures to go into these bad communities and help these kids and end this vicious cycle, I'm all for that. But they don't want to do that. You know why? Because then these politicians will all be out of a fucking job.
Yeah. This is an easier fix for everybody. Democrats get their votes, and then the people get their money, so they can vote them in again.
Right, and did I just say anything crazy, or you tell me?
No, I mean I'm sure they'll just say you're a racist for saying that. That'll be the easy answer.
Right.
So,
and look, I don't think there should be racial equity, racial equality. We should all have fucking equality of opportunity.
Wait, so with this law, so basically if I have darker skin color, I get money is basically
but you get it easier. You'll get it easier now.
Okay.
Because it's not like now when I apply to a job, my resume doesn't go right to the bottom, which it does because I'm Caucasian. You know, I had nothing to do with the whole slavery thing. That was a good 75 to 80 years before my family even got here. I looked it up on Ancestry.com.
I know you and your family and mine's were never here at that point.
No.
So, my family got here in the 1900s.
Our families had to scratch and claw for everything they got.
Yeah.
Our skin color has nothing to do with it.
Right.
And look, me and you, we're not poor, but we're not fucking. Look, I bet between me and you, we can name 10 people with darker skin color that are better well off than we are.
Yeah.
But all the government's worried about is just taking more of our money and making it rain.
Yeah, I'm not exactly living the dream or anything over here. I'm happy.
We're not poor, but we're not fucking.
Yeah, I'm getting by. I'm cool, but I'm not just laughing, like throwing money around.
It's not like we have a fucking boat and a beach house.
I'm not like Scrooge McDuck diving into the gold. It is like a pool, you know.
Well, that's part of the problem is that these liberal Democrats want the whole country to think that if you're white, you are Scrooge McDuck. Right. And if you're rich, you are. And they define rich, by the way. I think if you make like $400,000 a year, you're rich. Okay, take away the taxes. Now you're at what? 260, 275 if you're lucky. Now live in New Jersey, buy a house, pay property tax, try to put money away for savings. Now what are you down to? $1.50?
And by the way, why is it a crime to make money like that? If I go to school and become a doctor, what's the wrong with that? Why am I being penalized? Everybody has that.
You're rich.
Everybody has that opportunity. I didn't do it. I probably should have, but everybody has that opportunity.
You know what? I'm gonna push back on that. I'm not sure how great of a doctor you would.
Oh no, I wouldn't trust myself. I wouldn't trust myself as a doctor. Hell no.
So, kind of sticking with that, our next topic we got for you. Your boy Bezos quit Amazon this week.
I mean, what does that matter? He's still a trillionaire.
He's still the richest man walking the face of the earth, but now. What I heard is he's going to become like the next Bill Gates. So like, now how we have Bill Gates who knows nothing about medicine and health trying to run the world with medicine and health.
Right.
So
well, that's what happens with these guys. I mean, they get so power hungry, so it's just like, well, there's nothing left for me to do. I have to do this now, Like what else does he have to do? I mean, his great grandkids are set for life. What more is for him to do?
And go another 8 generations.
Yeah, times 12, whatever. So what more does he have to do? Now it's more of like a power trip, right? Isn't that what it is at this point? It's just like, I need to do this now.
Probably. And here's I didn't put this graphic up about Joe Biden before, so I'll just leave that up before. I forgot to put that up during our thing about Joe Biden. We're going to skip the Joker. I'll talk about that tomorrow because you're probably not interested about the Joker.
I like the Joker.
Okay, well, I didn't get the image, but a new image of the Joker got leaked out from the new Justice League movie coming out in March.
Mm. And who's playing him again?
Jared Leto.
Oh, I thought he played him already in the, what is that, Suicide Squad or whatever?
Yeah, now he's coming back for the Justice League.
Oh, okay. You think, is it going to be a good role? Because wasn't that Suicide Squad a bomb?
Well, the deal with the Suicide Squad was it was supposed to be they made a movie, right? Mm-hmm. And then the studio took the movie out of the hands of the filmmaker and basically chewed it up and diarrheaed it out into the theaters. And that's what we got. We didn't get what the filmmaker intended for us to see.
They said it was garbage.
Right. So now we're getting the Snyder Cut version of Justice League, which you're more than welcome to come over to watch for the premiere.
I will.
And the Joker's actually going to be in it. And it looks cool. It's a cool picture.
Because we've had good Jokers in the past. We've had Jack Nicholson and we've had Heath Ledger.
And we all know Jared Leto is capable of being a good Joker.
Oh, yeah, he's a great actor. Definitely. So hopefully he does as good a job as they did.
Yeah. What do we got next for you, folks? The YouTube shadow banning. That continues. And it's nothing for me to worry about because I get 2 fucking viewers a video. So I'm not big enough yet. But
how many views do we have now? We have 2?
We have 2 concurrent viewers, which is pretty good.
Nice.
But as small as this channel is, I'm pretty sure I'm already shadow banned. Because even the shit we talk about on the football show, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, so...
God forbid to speak the truth around here.
They're taking people that... I won't mention their names because I don't want to get them in any more trouble. But they're taking people that get normally like 150,000 views a video. And these are people that drop like 3 to 4 10-minute videos a day. And they're getting like 47,000 views now. They're getting like 30% of the views that they usually get. So, and all those YouTube creators talk to each other, and it's happening to all of them. They're all getting like, since the beginning of this week, like 30% of their typical views. And like I said, my views, if I'm lucky, go into like the 50s, their views typically get 150,000 and up. Mm-hmm. So when you go from that to like 47,000, it's like, what the fuck? What the fuck's going on?
Right.
Because one day I want to get that big. That's why we're here. I mean, we're here to have fun first and foremost. If we never get that big, oh well. But I mean, it would be a nice side effect, right?
Yeah, of course.
And when you get that big, a lot of people, that's how they make their living. Off the monetization.
Nothing better than doing what you love and earning a living off of it, right?
Fuck yeah. So our days on YouTube might be numbered because the problem is we just tell it like it is. Have you heard about Congresswoman Marjorie Taylor Greene?
No, what happened?
Well, that's next on our docket here. She's the one that's been on the Republican side sparking up a lot of controversy. She's the one that filed articles of impeachment against Joe Biden on day one.
Good for her. I like her already.
She had a gun in her commercial. She's like, I'm going to Congress with my piece.
Oh, my God.
And she's hot, too. She's a hot blonde chick from Georgia.
What's the name again?
Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Okay.
But she's stirring up some shit. And now the Rhino Republicans like Mitch McConnell and those fucks, Mitt Romney, those fucking useless pricks, are threatening to, like, kick her off the committees that she's on. So, like, you can't, I don't know if you know this, but you can't impeach someone in Congress. The way you get rid of someone in Congress is you vote them out. Mm-hmm. Now, I think, however, if, like, something ridiculous, like 80% of Congress votes that they don't want you in there, I think that's how you might be able to get someone out besides voting.
Right.
But don't quote me on that. I think that's a thing, and I think it's damn near close to. But do you realize 80% of 435 is a lot of people?
Yeah.
So that's very rare.
It's hard, yeah.
It's probably happened, but very few and far between. But a lot of people go, well, term limits. How do you kick someone out? The way you kick someone out of Congress is either you fucking primary them out. And we're going to go to AOC next. Actually, she's next on the docket. But did you know that when AOC first ran, she primaried out the third most powerful Democrat in Congress?
Really?
Did you know that?
No.
Because the guy was so arrogant and so powerful and so high in the pecking order, he wasn't fucking campaigning. So she was campaigning. I'll give her credit for something.
Oh, he got complacent.
She was campaigning her ass off, and she she totally primaried him out. Now, she still had to beat the Republican, but when your district is the Bronx, that's really not competition.
Automatic, yeah.
Right.
But he beat him out because he got complacent, basically.
He didn't think he had a campaign.
Yeah, because she was like a nobody, right? Well, she was like a bartender or some shit, and he was like, I don't need to do anything. I could beat her, right? And she's just really.
Well, I don't think it was personal against her. I just don't think he took anyone serious.
No, yeah, well, of course not. But I'm saying her in general. Because she was a bartender.
Why would the number 3 guy in all of Congress take anyone serious? You know?
Yeah,
he was in that seat for I think like 18 years.
Yeah, she really did put herself out there. I mean, which is good for her. You know, she had the moxie, whatever, and she really was a nobody, right? She was a bartender. I mean,
well, she made a name for herself when she won the primary. That's when she got.
Yeah, of course.
That's when she got famous at a national level.
Right, of course. And then once, obviously, you're in the Bronx, you're going to win as a Democrat.
Yeah, you have no chance otherwise.
I don't even know why Republicans even bother, but I guess they have to.
It's funny. A Republican in the Bronx is probably as liberal as a Democrat in like fucking Nebraska, you know? It's probably the same thing.
Yeah, it's
like a New Jersey Republican has to be the same thing as like a Texas Democrat.
Yeah, I mean, what can you do as a Republican in the Bronx? Like, you just have to, I guess, play your cards right. You know, hope you get lucky or something, but no chance.
Yeah. So speaking of AOC, she made the news today, Greg, because
I saw that.
Remember, she was all like hiding in her room.
Yeah, supposedly
not in her room, but in her office during the insurrection, this big bad insurrection.
Like the movie Taken, she's under the bed. Like,
it was proven by somebody that's 2 doors down from her that this insurrection and these riots were nowhere near where their offices were.
Yeah, it makes sense.
And so she totally diverted. And then she came out that she was sexually abused or something, or sexually assaulted, because she was so full of shit that she's like she went like this. She went like, oh, look over here now.
She's gonna play that card now. Come on.
And folks, I'm not laughing that she was sexually assaulted.
No,
Okay,
of course
if she really
not.
was, that's not cool.
Yeah,
it's not
but-
cool for anybody to be sexually
No,
assaulted.
of course not. But now you're just gonna lie and say you were. Like, come on.
Right. And that's it. That's an insult to people that legitimately have been sexually assaulted. And even if she really was sexually assaulted, what the fuck does that have to do with fessing up that you lied about the whole fucking riot, insurrection day, whatever? You know how I feel about that. I say if you're going to go in there, get the fucking job done. They didn't even get anything done in there. The people that went in.
Nothing. Nobody was hurt. There was like no violence. It was
No,
just-
someone was hurt. An innocent girl that was in the fucking Air Force that was climbing through a window got shot. No one, her life doesn't matter.
Well,
It's just unbelievable.
yeah, I did hear that about AOC though. Ugh.
And we only got a couple topics left for you folks. Have you heard about the latest Biden admin picks? There are a few real buttes.
All right, who we got?
So first up is Jilana Porter, who's a former Oakland Raiders cheerleader, and I have this written down on your call sheet. She was quoted as saying on her Facebook 4 years ago in 2016, "The largest threat to U.S. national security is not ISIS, it's the cops. It's not Russian hackers or anything else. It's the cops."
And who is this girl? What does she do? That
She's a former Oakland Raiders cheerleader, and now she's got something to do now with like the Secretary of State. Like she's working for the Secretary of State.
What was her position besides being a cheerleader? Was she?
I don't know, being a piece of ass.
No, this can't be right. We have to look this up.
If you look her up, she's actually pretty hot, but
She has no experience at all. Nothing besides cheerleading.
she was probably hired because of that Facebook post.
Oh my god.
What's happening to it? What's going on? What's happening? Come on, man.
Come on, man, is right. This is crazy.
The next person appointed this week to Biden's cabinet, an ex-colleague of Hunter Biden's attorney, and guess where he is? He's on top of the DOJ. That means the Department of Justice, where the FBI is, where the CIA is. So get this. You know, Hunter Biden committed all these crazy crimes and they caught him with the laptop? Well, his lawyer, his criminal defense attorney, that got him out of a lot of trouble, his close colleague is now on top of the DOJ.
Oh, okay.
How do you make this up?
Yeah, good for them.
Dude,
Yeah.
I wish I could make this up. I wish I was this good of a writer that I could make this up. I'd make millions on the fucking screenplay.
Good for them.
The third and last but not least person I want to point out that got hired this week on Biden's administration. Remember Peter Strzok? Remember Strzok and Page? The ones that had the emails like saying Trump supporters are like dirty Walmart people and
Right.
and like they were in on like the spying on the Trump campaign and they committed all these crimes. Well, Peter Strzok's wife got a top position in the SEC, the Securities and Exchange Commission.
Wow. And what does she do?
So it's like these people are getting rewarded for either committing crimes or just being fucking assholes.
And what is her experience? She has experience in securities, and
I would hope so. I hope.
let's all hope. All right.
You got anything?
Well, that's depressing. This all just depressed me a lot.
Do you want to? I know you're not the host of the show. You're the special guest this week, but we got one more topic for the juice heads out there. Gio, do you want to go for it? Do you want to read us the last trending topic?
I just read it, and it's kind of like it's hard to talk about.
It's hard to digest.
I hope this is a misprint. Should I say it?
Yeah.
Pentagon declares climate change a national security issue.
Don't say it like it's a question. Say it like it's a statement.
Oh, Pentagon declares climate change a national security issue. That was hard.
And we're not even like we're like 2 weeks. We're like 8 days. Are we 8 days or has it been 1 week or 2 weeks into this?
It's been almost 2 weeks. Almost 2 weeks.
And this is where we are, folks. From now, I have to be careful The 2016 election was rigged. The 2020 election was totally legit. Right?
Right.
So we're not that far away. The election in 2016 was rigged, not the one in 2020.
Right.
And this is what we get. Hey, if you want to live in a banana republic, now we live in a banana republic, right?
I'm going to choke. Please stop.
So in a way, this was our season finale of NFL Boycott Club, unless we're going to do like a post-Super Bowl show. Maybe we'll do a draft show.
Yeah.
So how do you feel, man? We made it through one season of podcasting together. We did the NFL Boycott Club together.
Yeah.
And now you're branching out into What's Trending Happy Hour.
Right. Yeah, I feel good. It's been a good time. I like this. Hopefully we'll do it again. And we got 2 viewers, 1 viewer.
We had 2 concurrent viewers at one point.
Oh, good.
Live. But that's live. I mean,
Yeah.
who knows how many we'll get.
Yeah. That's good stuff.
That's all
Thank you for everybody tuning in. Appreciate it.
Yeah, and thank you for joining me on What's Trending Live Happy Hour. This was tons of fun, and has there been anything trending for you this week that we didn't talk about? That's like just trending in your brain?
No, I mean we're in New Jersey here, so we've been stuck in the snow.
Fucked either way.
Yeah, I mean we've been stuck. Nothing's really been going on too much around here, but I did appreciate the happy hour. It was funny because I thought I had too many beers, but apparently not enough. So
It goes by fast.
Yeah. So I'm sure we'll see you guys all soon again.
All right, Juice Heads, thank you for joining us for, I believe this is the 4th edition. Oh, there we are. 4. Of What's Trending Live Happy Hour. It's always fun. We might do another one of these tomorrow. I'll let you know. And can't thank you enough. The best favor you could do is just spread the word. Subscribe, if you will. Maybe hit the thumbs up button. And if you don't like it, hit the thumbs down button. Fuck it. Fuck us. Who the fuck are we? Hit the fucking thumbs down button if we suck.
Do it. Go ahead.
No, seriously, thumbs up, subscribe. Nah, I don't. Do whatever you want. But seriously, the best if you made it through this long in the video, just fucking share it. That's all we ask. And we're gonna cut it off here. And thank you, Juice Heads. Be safe and practice safe sex.